This is Ford's 2019 Mustang Bullitt. And I've heard that the name is related to a classic bit of cinema. I've never seen the film personally, but I heard it has a decent chase scene in it. And this car derives its name from the lead character. I'm not here to talk about that film, the Bullitt name, none of that. I want to focus on the car itself, because it is damn good. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's drive this car, because it really is really good. It's basically a Mustang GT with a little bit extra. And beautiful Highland Green paint. It truly is. That really is a really nice paint job. The black torque thrust style wheels look great, and then the Michelin Pilot 4S tires actually give the illusion of a nice chunky sidewall, and it works well. The stance is great, the look is great. Stylistically, this car is wonderful. Driving wise, oh God, it's awesome. Something wonderful about American V8 rear-wheel drive two-door. Sports car, pony car, I don't care what you want to call it, the Mustang is fantastic. This one makes 480 horsepower, and that's good. It's up over the standard GT, and part of that is due to the fact that this steals the Shelby GT350 intake manifold, and it gets a larger throttle body, so there's a little bit more air running into the engine. Better breathing leads to better power production. This car also has a wonderful 6-speed gearbox. The throws are nice and meaty and chunky, and they just feel perfect for the car. Steering is responsive, turn it in, flat-footed, keep that foot pressed because the power's up in the band, and just go for it. This thing revs, it redlines at 7,400 RPM, and most of the horsepower is at the top. The torque is right about in the middle of the range. Normally in a Mustang, you'd want to shift around like 5 grand, get it down to the next gear, keep the engine chugging. Here, hold on, wait, do not shift yet. Do not shift yet. I mean, you're gonna find that you're gonna just stick in third gear on your favorite canyon road. You can clear 100 miles per hour easily in third gear. You do not need to shift as often as you might think, just because the power band, or the rev range rather, of this is just fairly large. Now this is the third version of the Mustang Bullitt, not counting the movie car from 1968. In 2001, Ford made an SN95 version of the Bullitt Mustang, which got a little bit more power, slightly lower suspension. Then for the 08-09 S197 Mustang, they offered another Bullitt. Again, a little bit of style, a little bit of performance tweaks, revised rear axle, just to make it that much better. Not, full-blown Shelby GT350 levels of power and performance, but a little bit more special and a little bit more dynamic than the standard Mustang GT. And that's perfect. That's how you do one of these. Ford is going to crank out this 2019 Bullitt for 2 years, so there'll be a 19 and a 20. And it is a limited production, but I do not know what the number is. Now, something standard on this car is Rev-Matching, which is a nice feature. I like Rev-Matching. You can turn it off. I like it here. And then this isn't just a Bullitt thing. 2019 Mustang GTs will get this as well. Obviously, if they're manual gearboxes, automatics, no, it doesn't make sense. Don't be stupid. This has optional Recaro seats that are fantastic. They're nice and wide for your shoulders back there. They feel comfortable without squeezing you to death. The Fiesta ST ones, those ones were great if you were a thin person, and I am not a super thin person, so those ones always felt a bit too tight and uncomfortable for me. These are the opposite. These are nice, big, broad-shouldered Recaros, and they've got some green stitching to mimic the Highland Green paint. There's a few Bullitt nods on the outside, besides, you know, the paint. There's a Bullitt badge in the center of the steering wheel. There's a Bullitt badge in the center of the ass end of this thing, and that's really it. Well, there's another one right there on the dash, which looks fine. I don't have a problem with that one. It's really tastefully done. That's part of the beauty of a Bullitt Edition Mustang, is it's slightly toned down. I like that. I also like the ponyless grille up front. I think that looks nice and clean and blacked out, the black against the green. Just a really nice color combination. Ford has just been improving the Mustang for the last few years. It's getting better and better, much like Chevy's doing with the Camaro. Now, the Alpha platform is just a dominating platform, but the Mustang dominates at the sales counts. So, you know, pick your poison there. Which one do you want to get? You're not really going wrong, because both of them are great. Even though I have my quibbles with the Camaro, I fully admit that it's a fantastic car. This Mustang, though, is excellent. The updated sync system is good. This has an optional B&O sound system that sounds terrific. And then keep that off and just listen to the engine, because it sounds so good. This has active exhaust, so you can run it in a quiet mode, a normal mode, a sport mode, and a track mode, and it's loud and throaty and authoritative. It's loud outside the car. Now, I did read that there is some sound being piped in through speakers, which seems weird. I wonder if the NVH, the sound deadening in here, is so good that it needs that, because otherwise, on the outside of the car is loud. It's surprising to me that you need that extra sound piped in, but it has to be due to just increased levels of daily drivability comfort through increased sound deadening, nicer materials, and that's a good thing. So the sound might be piped in a little bit through the speakers, but this is real. I mean, sounds amazing. It doesn't get old. Handling wise, you tuck it in and go. You can adjust the steering from normal, sport, track. There's a comfort mode too. It just increases the heft of the steering. It's a little bit artificial, but not enough where it takes you away from the driving enjoyment of the car. The suspension is a bit stiff. I wish I can't figure out how to fine tune the My Driving mode so that suspension stays in normal, and then I can do sport throttle, sport steering, track, exhaust. I can't seem to fine tune it to do that. Now, if you want to push this thing even farther, this does have launch control. This does have a trans brake, so you can just sit there and brake stand and roast the tires. And if you want to see an example of a Mustang doing that, check back to our regular review of, I think we did it for the 2018 Ford Mustang GT. I'll do the little YouTube-y thing right here. Go click that wherever the hell it landed. And that was a great machine. This one's just a little bit better with a little bit more power. It's slightly more expensive without crossing too close to the Shelby GT350 price-wise. These start at, I think, these start at about $47,000 with a few options. You are in the low 50s, and then a Shelby GT350 is higher 50s. So there's a little bit of a gap there. And you do want these seats, and you do want the B&O sound system, so those are things that you will want. So expect to pay 50 grand for one of these. But don't buy it. I mean, unless you are a Bullitt movie fanatic, fine, that's fine. I don't care. I don't have a problem with the movie. I honestly have never seen it. I've seen snippets of the chase scene. If it were up to me and I had to pick between a 68 Mustang and a 68 Charger, I'd pick the Charger all day long. But this car right here is great. Again, the film heritage doesn't do anything for me. You can like it or not. You take it or leave it, whatever may have you. But the car itself is excellent. 6-piston Brembo brakes up front haul you in. Those aforementioned Pilot Sport 4S tires are fantastic tires, and they just do a phenomenal job of lending plenty of grip to this car. It is a supremely enjoyable canyon carver with tall gears, a wide rev range, great noise, comfortable seats, and just damn good looks. What more could you want? I need to get out of this turtleneck sweater that still has the tag on it. Because who the hell wears turtlenecks in Southern California? This is hot.